Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video I'll be showing you guys how to make a zombie shooter game. Let's get started. So, in the player, I have a simple player sprite, so as you see, just basic costume. And in the gun, I have two costumes. I can't really see because I'm using dark mode, but if I just do this, I have a basic gun, and the reason why I have two, one called right and left, is because we'll be switching costumes when rotating, because as you can see here, the gun, when pointed at this direction, or anything under 0, it flips under. We don't want that. We don't want it to look good. So, we'll make it so if it points any of these directions over here, switch to left, or when it points over here, we'll make it switch to the right. Last, we have a pistol bullet, so just do that. A bullet for our pistol, and a pop animation, so we're going to make it so whenever it hits something, it'll just pop. So let's get started. Let's go to the player spot, and right here I have two variables, xvel and yvel, both public sprites, so I'm going to set them both to 0 when we first start. Now, to do this, let's add a forever loop, and I like to add a input, so input x and a input y. Now how about we set the input x and input y to either a positive or negative number, and we can do this by doing a minus key. Now you must have it in this order, so if it's right minus left, so if it's, I'm using WASD, so it's D minus A. And for the Y, I'll do up minus down, so it'll be, for me, W, we have it here, so W minus S. As you can see in the inputs, we can change these numbers just by pressing keys. So now let's make these actually work. Make a new variable. Call it friction. Let's set friction to 0.89. And let's do a set. So let's set the input x and input y to xvel. Well, not input, I mean x velocity and y velocity, my bad. To xvel multiplied by friction. Copy and paste that into the y and change this into a yvel. And now let's do a change. Let's change the xvel and yvel by input. So, like that. And last thing, change x and change y by x velocity and y velocity. Says that, and voila, smooth movement. So what we're doing here is we're simply calculating and we're moving left to right by using a negative or positive number, so 1 or 2. Then what we're going to do is we're going to set the x velocity to the xvel times friction, and friction's times 0.9. But, as you see here, if you grab times, if we do 0 times 0.9, we get 0. So when we first start, it won't do anything. But because we have a change xvel, we're going to change it. So let's just have the multiplication again. And so our friction, and since we're changing the input, let's say we have an input of 1. Okay? And then it'll increase to 2. And then it'll increase it again, so it'll be like 2.75 or whatever the number is. Continues going until it reaches like a max number. So let's hide these. And I like to put these in a block to make my script look neater, so make a block, call it movement. You don't have to do this, but it just makes the script looks clean. So everything that has to do with movement is in here, and as you see, there's absolutely nothing. Just makes the script looks neat. Now we're done with the player, let's go to the gun. When green flag is clicked forever, and let's do this. So let's make a new, okay, yeah. So we need to first make it so it goes to the player all the time. So let's do a change X and a change Y. And you're probably wondering why we're doing this. Well, because we're going to do it into stage. So player X position minus the gun's X position. Change it like that, and we do the same thing here except Y position of player. So if you do this, it's pretty smooth movement. Make it so we move 10 steps as well as point towards mouse pointer. So I think 15 steps. See, the gun looks more forward. Now, I don't like it how if we point this way the gun's upside down and this way it's correct. So let's do this. If else, so get an if else in here. And let's do a operators greater with 0 on the right side. Go to motion, get a direction, and let's go to the costumes. If the direction is greater than 0, go to pistol right. Else, if it's lower, that means we'll go to pistol left, and voila. If even I go super fast, as you can see here, the gun changes into its proper costume, and even if we move, it moves with it as well. This looks cool. Okay, now let's make it so we can shoot. So, to do this, make a new block. Call it shoot. Put the shoot over here and alright. Okay, let's put the shoot over here and let's make a new variable and call it fire rate. Let's make an if else here and bring in operators and let's do a lesser than as well as if mouse down. Now you can change it to like key space or whatever, but I think I'll keep it like that. So if fire rate is lesser than 0, then let's set the fire rate to like 1.5, and we always change the fire rate by negative 0.1. I'll just add a 2 there. Okay, now probably what this does is we're always changing it lower, and so once the number gets lower than 0, we enable both of these. So if we go here, I see it's false. Okay, but if I just did this, it's true. So when we mouse it down, we activate it and we set it to a higher number than 0. So we can't use it until we wait till it brings the number back under 0. Now let's go to the control and add a create clone of a bullet. And now that it's done, I'm trying to see something. If we do that, okay, yeah, we can do that. So we can, I think we can do a negative 15. That should be. Yeah. Doesn't have to be that big of a number. So like even negative 5 works. I have a little trigger when we shoot. Just as a design. Alright, now we create clones of the actual bullet, but we're not doing anything with them. So let's go to the bullet, and I already have a green flag clicked hide, but we're gonna have a when a clone is started. So when I start as a clone, show. We're gonna go point in direction as well as a go to. So a go to gun, point in direction of gun. So go to gun direction. And now we are going to switch costumes before we do anything, because we're not going to be using the particle. So we're going to switch to the bullet pistol. And I think we're going to move it like 15 steps, just so it looks like it's coming out of the gun. So like, how about 20? Yeah, they look cool. Let's change the Y by a bit, because I think the bullet is a bit under, so let's do that. Alright, it looks like it's just right on point. Okay, now let's get a repeat until touching edge. So we're just gonna move 10 steps. So if we just do that, as you can see, the ball moves, but nothing happens when it hits the edge. So let's add a delete this clone. But before we do the delete clone, let's do a switch costume to pop. Repeat 4 times. Let's clear graphics before anything. Let's just do that when I start. Repeat 4 times. Change size by 10. I'll set size to 35. Change size by 10, as well as change ghost effect by 15. Let's try that. Yeah, this works pretty nice. As you can see, we can properly shoot, as well as the bullets move, and when touching an edge, or when it touches the edge, pops. That's good. Alright. Now let's actually add a way for you to kill, or to, in this case, to shoot the zombies. So let's make a new sprite called zombies. I'm just going to copy this and go into the zombies, paste it in. I think I'm going to make it just a bit smaller. So I'm going to do the same thing, but instead forever, for the bullet, we're going to do forever, we're going to do hide, and we're going to do a wait, we're going to pick random, 1, 2, 3, and create a clone of myself. When I start as a clone, we're going to show, set size to 80, or 75 in this case, switch to costume 1, we'll call it normal. The next episode, we'll add more types of zombies, but for now, we're going to have 1, so, you do it like go green. Alright, now let's make it so, repeat until touching gun, or bullet actually, so, let's go to a random position. So let's make it go to the edge over there. So I think we're just gonna go like right there, which is 240. So let's make it go 245. Now we're gonna have a pick random. So that's the highest point of this. 200. Alright, so 180. Let's make it go to 180 and negative 180. Now here's a pretty. I'm going to set the rotation file to do not rotate, as well as point towards player and move 10 steps. Now if you don't get that, what it is we're pointing at the player, but it's not showing that but the actual thing is saying that. So 10 steps is a bit too much. Let's go 2 steps. Nice. Now as you can see, it'll stop when you touch it. Oh, it's not done yet. Let's make it so we delete this clone. And how about we make it turn brightness to 100 and clear all graphics effects. So like wait to 0.1 seconds. You can't really tell, but it's on a white background. And before we finish, let's make it so if the bullet is touching the zombies, it'll delete itself. So if touching zombie, let's wait a frame, and then just copy all that and put it in there. So now let's do that. Yeah, it's perfect. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And maybe in the next episode, I'll make it so the zombies can spawn anywhere on the map, in any corners, as well as maybe even switching guns, or even adding a wave or shop system. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see ya.